most of us have lost weight and then put it back on, right? There's weight loss. That's not really the problem that we're living. The problem is typically that we don't know how to keep the weight off. So regardless of the diet that you did, the typical focus is on losing weight as quickly as possible, right? Just get it off my body. And then it's also the other focus is doing it with the least amount of discomfort. So let's start with speed. If I can lose weight in a month or two, then I don't have to suffer, right? For as long as well, I don't have to suffer for long, right? I can just get my life back. I can go back to being happy and the person that I used to be and doing all my activities and hanging out with my friends, doing all the things, right? If I could just quickly shed those pounds. And if I can lose weight as quickly as possible, it makes me believe that I could easily do this again, right? I could just lose weight and then I don't have to worry about it. And if I gain weight, I'll just lose it again and I don't have to worry about it. I could just be on that cycle. And it doesn't really matter what I eat in the in-between because I could just lose the weight again. This allows garbage back in our lives because we mistakenly believed that we can just keep repeating the weight loss process, right? We could just, and the truth is, our own lived experience doesn't play that out. So when I'm thinking about how my life went, yes, there were periods of time where I lost a good amount of weight. I think at one point, like 50 pounds. And the problem was, I think I kept it off before it started creeping back on was months. So this idea that we could just do the diet again, it messes with our head, right? Because the second time that we try to lose weight, it's harder. And then the third time, even harder. And it just gets harder and harder each time. And that's because we need to think about the fact that we're only looking at it from the perspective of I want to weigh less, and we're not looking at the stress and the problem that it puts on our body. On this warrior, it's making your body struggle every time that you allow that weight to come back on, because in order for that weight to come back on, garbage is coming back in, right? Toxins are coming back in, and that's impacting your health. So let's talk about some of these things, because I think the first thing that I want us to think about is the fact that addiction plays a role in why it's so hard for us to just keep gaining, losing. You see, most of us, when we're putting the weight back on, it's because we might have allowed cookies or ice cream or chips or all the junk foods back in on. Pizza and hamburgers. It's not always junk. It's not always snacks. Sometimes it's meals. I know I loved pizza, past tense, don't love it anymore, but I loved pizza. And every time that I would have a hard day, the first meal I wanted to have was pizza. Every time I didn't have time to cook, the first thing I wanted to order was pizza. Every time I felt like I had a good day, I wanted to celebrate, the first thing I wanted was pizza. Do we see the problem? There's a lot of carbohydrate in pizza, and that's going to cause my chasing, which it did, because not only would I have that pizza meal, but then I might turn around and have chocolate, because especially if I had a good day, well, might as well celebrate with some chocolate. But what if I had a bad day? Guess what? I'm still going to end up celebrating with some chocolate. Isn't that interesting how that works, right? No matter what's happening, we end up celebrating with chocolate. So I think the most important thing for us to think about is how interesting it is that we can end up towards this addictive behavior and action. I'm self-soothing with chocolate and pizza, or I'm celebrating with chocolate and pizza, or it's just timing, or maybe I'm just hungry and want a snack and I have some chocolate. That was my history, right? The second problem that I see is that we end up confirming what the world tells us, that diets are temporary. There's something that you do for a short period of time to get you over, right? A hump or whatever, like just lose that weight. And then you go back to eating normally, which I did every time. And obviously you gain the weight. But there's more, because the world also tells us that we're just going to get fatter and fatter as we age anyway. So why are we fighting this? I'm wondering, have you ever had that said to you? Oh, first of all, I've had it said to me because I'm a mother. Oh, as soon as you have kids, you're going to put on the weight. It's never coming off. That was said to me more than once. But also that, well, as you age, it's just normal for you to gain weight, said by my doctor more than once. Can I point out that I am today lighter than I was 10 years ago, even though I'm 10 years older? Can I point out, even as I'm sitting here today, I'm the same weight that I was 5 years ago, even though I'm 5 years older? Is it reality that because I'm aging, my weight has to rise? No. Now, might it rise? Yes. If I'm eating the wrong things, it might also rise for good reasons. If I was working out more, I'd probably be having more muscle on me and I would weigh more. So that's a positive reason that my weight would rise. But it's not based on age. It's based on what I'm eating and my level of physical activity. That's what it's based on, not how old I am. Another thing that the world tells us is that eating garbage is normal. And it's even more normal than eating healthy food. Right. The world said, when you say that you're having a healthy meal, people do this. Yay, good for you. And they applaud. When you say, oh my gosh, like I ate a cookie or 8 cookies, they're like, yeah, normal. When you say that you're trying to stop eating cookies, they're like, good luck. Tell me how that goes. We act like eating garbage is more normal than eating healthy food. And that is why we eat garbage. We go out to eat and we expect to eat junk food. We have celebrations. We're surprised if there's no cake. We're surprised if there's no chips on the table when we go to a function at a friend's house. Why? Because the world tells us it's more normal to eat junk food than it is to eat healthy food. The world tells us that we can't have fun without eating garbage, right? That if there's no alcohol or there's no junk at the party, that's going to be a boring party. As a matter of fact, what really was frustrating to me was that I was listening to people talk about the upcoming holiday, and what were they excited for? The opportunity to overeat, right? The opportunity to have cookies and cakes and ice cream and all that stuff, rather than being excited for seeing friends and family, right? And getting that ability to reconnect. No, it was an opportunity to drink. Well, this word, we need to be careful, because if we keep letting ourselves believe that that's the reason for us to get together, if we keep letting ourselves believe that's the reason for holidays being fun, if we let ourselves continue to believe these lies, we're going to continue to live the repercussion of believing those lies, because what I believe impacts what I do. Matter of fact, it drives what I do, right? The third problem that I see is we're training ourselves to believe, or to not believe that we can succeed. We're training ourselves to think that we are meant to fail, right? I can't possibly lose that much weight. You'd be surprised when I'm talking to people and I'm saying, well, we're going to get you down to your healthy weight. We're going to get you down to the weight that you're, the doctor's chart says you're supposed to be in this range. And how often the answer is, oh my gosh, I haven't been that since I was a kid. Yeah, because that's probably the last time that you were healthy. But you're supposed to be that. I'm currently that. Why can't you be that? We can all be that if we're eating healthy food. If we're not eating healthy food, of course not. Of course we're not going to be it, because we're allowing ourselves to eat junk. On this where you need to believe in your ability to succeed at whatever you're trying to do for yourself. If you don't believe you can do it, there's nothing I'm going to be able to do that's going to make it happen for you. There's nothing a diet's going to be able to do to make it happen for you, because if you don't believe you can do it, you're not going to actually stick to the diet, right? You're not going to see why the foods you're supposed to be eating are the foods you're supposed to be eating, because this is not going to work anyways, right? So I might as well eat the thing that's fun and tasty. And then what happens is we prove that we're not going to be successful because we don't keep the promises that we make to ourselves to eat healthier, to be healthier, to do our good activities, to sleep on time, to drink water, to do all the things, to eat the healthy food. We don't keep our promises to ourselves because we don't believe that we can succeed. And all of this just feeds on itself, and it puts us in a mindset that says this is not going to work. We want the least amount of discomfort while we're losing weight. That's the other problem that we live, right? We want the least amount of discomfort. So we have things like diet junk food, right? I mean, do we even understand how crazy it is that we have diet candy? Candy is sugar. We have diet candy. That's a thing. We have diet cookies and diet cake and diet soda and diet stuff. Okay. We have keto replacement foods, right? The junk that was causing me to be overweight, I make a keto version of it because again, going back to the idea that we have to have fun and this shouldn't be hard. And matter of fact, I'll even go a step further. Vegetarian burgers are a thing, right? We keep saying we want one thing, but then we end up showing that we don't really want it. We just want to pretend that we want it, right? I want to lose weight, but I don't really want to lose weight because I want to keep eating this stuff. And it's not going to work out because my mind, my brain is, first of all, logical, but second of all, sensitive to every single toxin, sensitive to it. So we have these diet things that taste like the thing, right? And my brain tastes that sweetness and says, oh my goodness, sugar's coming. And it's still going to do the processes that it needs to do for sugar coming, which caused me to be hungrier. Now I'm struggling with this diet. So I'm trying to make the diet easy for myself. Do we see the problem here, Holmesbury? We're trying to make the diet easy for ourselves, but then we end up believing these companies that give us this crappy diet replacement stuff, or these influencers that tell us to make these replacement things. We make them, our brain still reacts. It's hard for us because now we're chasing, now we're remembering that flavor. We want the real thing. All this stuff is happening because we want this to be easy, right? We want that healthy life without having to make any type of sacrifice or put down anything that we used to eat, or walk away from this idea that food is for fun, and it's not. Food is not for fun. It's to build my healthy body. How am I building my healthy body if I'm eating fake candy? So eating the real candy didn't build my healthy body, but I think eating fake candy, which is probably even more chemicals because there's not real sugar in there, there's some kind of artificial sweetener, or there's some kind of, this is not healthier than the original, because in order to make it taste like the original, there was more science that went into this process than making the original cookie that grandma would have made 30, 40 years ago. This isn't healthy. And those keto replacement things, I'm so happy that I stopped making them, because what I learned about nut flours and these sweeteners, that some of them still have artificial sweeteners inside to make. So I'm taking monk fruit, but there's still other things in there that is not monk fruit. So then I'm not really just getting monk fruit. Wellness Warrior, any place that they can trick us into thinking we're doing what's healthy but keep us on the path to not be healthy means that they can still make money from us, right? Because we have to buy all these expensive products because Almond flour costs way more than regular flour. It's still a win, right? This idea that we are trying to have our cake and eat it too, right? I want to be healthy, but I want to have the same thing like everybody else. And this thing that we're doing, it doesn't work, right? That diet that I'm saying I'm going to do, right? If that healthy diet that I say I'm going to do tastes like the old unhealthy diet, then I'm keeping my mind attached to that old unhealthy way of life. And what happens when I reach my goal weight? I go back to eating those foods because I've never let them go, right? They've been here with me this entire time. And I go back and I indulge and my weight comes back and roller coaster, right? So it doesn't matter what diet you're doing, whether you're doing a regular diet with diet foods or you're doing a keto diet with keto replacement foods, it doesn't matter. As long as you're letting those poor quality foods, because there's zero reason for me to eat cookies. It's not building a healthy version of me. As long as I'm doing that, I'm harming myself. And those delicious flavors with fewer calories and less carb count, or animal protein is not there, or whatever definition of healthier that you have, right? That delicious flavor without the calories, without the carbs, without the animal protein, without the whatever, but it's healthier, right? But is it really if it's pushing my brain to still behave in this addictive way? Is it really healthier? It's not. I'm going to say it. I'm going to help you. It's not. Right? Can we all say it together? It's not healthier. Right? I want you guys to put it in the comment section, not in the chat. I want it in the comment section, everyone to write, it's not healthier. Because why? Because I want you to let the world know, not just the people who are here today, let the world know. Garbage replacement keto foods are not healthier. It's pissing me off that I go to the store and I'm seeing keto in the middle aisles, right? That we should not be shopping there. I'm shopping in there because I'm looking to see what's happening, and I'm disgusted that companies are jumping in and pulling us towards the story to say, oh, you're going to be healthy by doing the right diet here, but I'm still going to help you by giving you a keto version of a junk food that you shouldn't be eating. You shouldn't be eating it. Don't eat it. Because you eat it, your brain is there. Your brain is there, you get stuck. And once you're stuck, once they have you, they have you, wellness warrior. They have you and they don't let go. Here's the problem. Weight loss is not easy. It's not painless. It's not fast. There's effort that we all need to put in. There's understand. You know what? I'm going to back up for a second. I want to talk about me before I say this. I lost 70 pounds in 5 months. And whenever I say that, people go, oh, it was easy for her. Or, oh, she has great willpower. Or, oh, she was lucky. Or, no. Can I point out? So the first 3 days of keto, lovely. Then I got hit with withdrawal, which was about I can't remember how many days. I want to say 3 days of, oh my, what is happening to me? It was horrendous. I felt sick. I was hot. I was cold. I was everything. I was hungry like crazy, even though I knew I just ate more food than ever. I was struggling. Tell me that was easy. Tell me that was easy. No, it wasn't. I did it anyway. Right? And then, did I fall down the rabbit hole of replacement foods? Yes, I did. And what did I start to see? I'm chasing, which when I see myself chasing, now I know I'm risking having to go through withdrawal again, Had to get that under control real quick. But also, why am I chasing? It's bad enough to learn in the first place you had withdrawal, to learn that I really didn't think I had a problem, and it's bad enough. Am I putting myself in the position where I'm going to have to go through that again? No, I'm the kind of person that if I see a problem, I'm going to address that problem right away. So I addressed it. But here's the thing. Stop telling me that it was easy, or stop telling me that it was because I had such willpower. This is not a willpower story. It's a understand it story. It's a understand it. When you understand what's in front of you, all of a sudden, you understand what you need to do to correct. And so people are going to say, oh, but that was fast weight loss. I didn't force my body to lose weight. So is that weight loss fast? I don't know. What I know is, and it plays itself out. What I know plays itself out. Because there's certain principles in life that are just true. When you give your body appropriate food, your body takes care of itself, so heals and repairs what's happening inside. And when your body does that, it regulates your weight. We are not forcing our bodies to lose weight, right? So I don't get to tell my body how quickly it's going to do that. Every single one of us has a different level of internal damage. Do I believe with 100% certainty that every single person could get down to what their actual normal weight for their body is? Absolutely. I believe that. Can you do it by not eating properly? No. Can you do it by following someone else's diet? No. Why not? Because you can't do it until you let your body heal internally. Your body doesn't care how much you weigh. Your body cares about you being as healthy as possible. And if healthy equals take the incoming garbage and store it away as fat, your body's going to do that. Why? That's healthier than letting that garbage with all those toxins damage me. And by the way, even though my body is very good at doing that, it's not perfect. So yes, when I'm eating this garbage and it's coming in, it's still damaging me. Don't be misled by believing that because you can't see the problem that's happening right now, there's no problem happening. Right? That's why a lot of times people wake up in pain and end up in ER. You don't end up there because you decide in advance to go. You end up there because your body couldn't manage anymore. In Wellness Warrior, I feel like we are all waiting for our body to not be able to manage anymore before we take action. And it's frustrating me because I'm watching as the grocery store shelves are getting more and more products to pull us in to believing that that's what keto is, right? You need jerky sticks to do carnivore. No, you don't. No, you don't. Right? You need cheese wraps to do keto or carnivore. No, you don't. But look at what they're doing. They're on it. They see our behavior and they're on it. Are you going to let them be on it for you? Are you going to let them tell you what to eat? Or no, tell you that the foods that they're saying is keto or carnivore or vegetarian, by the way, that's what vegetarians should be eating. Fake burgers. That's what we should be eating. Fake cookies. Diet cookies. It frustrates me. It frustrates me. No matter where we are, they're coming at us. They're coming at us. It takes effort. It takes understanding. It takes action for weight loss to happen. And it takes a sustained commitment to lose weight in order for you to lose it and keep it off, right? I need to commit to this idea, wellness warrior, that my health comes before everything else. Because if I don't see that my health comes before everything else, then I'm going to let them tell me that taste comes first. Right? I'm going to let them tell me that, fun, celebrating with your people, right? I was doing it. Again, there'd be a birthday or a party like yesterday, the Christmas party. Back at the beginning of this process, I would have made some keto version of cake or cheesecake or something for me and Pat to bring with us, right? So that we didn't feel left out while everybody else was eating real garbage. And I'm so happy to say today, first of all, not only did we not do that, but I didn't even care. Whatever is there, it's there, whatever. I didn't care. I want you to get to the point where you see that eating the healthy food for your health is for you. And that by doing that, your body gets not only the benefit, the privilege of rebuilding in a healthy way so that you can live the next 20, 30, 40 years of your life pain-free, feeling amazing, right? Because we need to understand that the difference between all those other times that we lost weight. So every one of those other occasions where I lost weight and put it back on versus this time where I lost weight 5 years ago and I haven't regained a pound. So just remember my story. The first time when I lost 50 pounds, I had put it back on about 5 years later. I was back at the normal spot and then ballooned another 20 pounds in that following year. And today I'm sitting here still at goal 5 years later, going on 6 years in just a few months. This is not about information, Wellness Warrior. Every single one of you, I'm going to say, how do you do keto? And I want you to answer. I'm pausing right now. Answer the question. How do you do keto? Say the answer. Exactly. Right? We do keto by eating 20 grams of carbs less. We all know the answer there. Right? The reason that I've kept the weight off isn't because I know, eat 20 grams of carbs less. Because you know, eat 20 grams. Your friend knows. Everybody that you know right now, whether it's yourself or some friend of yours is just struggling to stay on keto, knows exactly how to do keto. That's not why they're struggling, Wellness Warrior. The reason that I was never able to stick to my diet, well, twofold. Part one, the diet that I was doing before was based on lies from companies. So, right? But there's a second reason, because all of us right now who understand that keto, carnivore, low carb is the way to go. It's the thing that's going to keep us healthy, but still are struggling, still are stumbling, still don't. There's a reason that we're not able to do it. And it has nothing to do with information and everything to do with the mindset to stick to your healthy keto diet and health, right? I have a mindset about what's healthy, what's not healthy, what it means to be taking care of my body. I have a mindset, and that shift that happened about 2 years after starting my keto lifestyle. When I actually started to learn about what I'm trying to accomplish, that mindset shift changed everything. So I'm going to give you an example. Like when you're trying to learn to ride a bike, right? Initially, you don't have a clue what the heck you're doing, right? If you just take a kid, put them on a bike, and they're going to, right? They have no idea how to make this thing stay up straight, whatever. Even as an adult, I don't know if there's any adults out there who've ever tried to learn to ride a bike, but I've known a few, and it's terrifying. They don't know what they're doing, right? But let's stick to kids for a second. So you have mom or dad, they're going to go out there and they're going to tell you, okay, this is what you're doing. And they're going to explain it to the kid, and they're going to help the kid, and they're going to guide the kid, and they're going to walk with the kid beside the kid. And they're going to do all these things to make sure that the kid, in as healthy and safe a way as possible, learns to ride the bike, right? So they're not going to let them fall if they can, right? They're going to try their best, and they're going to ease them along and talk them through and And then at some point with this teaching, the kid is going to start to get understanding. Oh, you want me to sit up straight? Oh, you want me to pedal and okay. Oh, I have to keep my arms like enough to hold the steering wheel, the bicycle handle, but not enough that I'm right. Oh, and as we are talking to the kid and the kid is listening and engaging, they start to figure it out until eventually that interaction between us and them allows them to figure out what their body's trying to do to ride the bike. And then they get it, right? The bike starts reacting the way that they want it to react because they're doing actions to make the bike do what they get it, right? And as a parent, as I see more and more my kid is getting it, I as I'm holding onto the seat, I let it go a little bit. And then, I hold on and as I see like, oh, I can let it go for a few, and then I'm doing this when I'm running beside them and I let the kid see me, look, I'm not holding on, right? And why are we doing all of this? Because I want the kid to get my transfer, my confidence. I'm transferring to you. You're doing it. Amazing. I'm transferring my confidence to you because I know you can do it because I did it. Your dad knows how to do it. The kid next door knows that. We know how to do this. If we know how to do it, we know that you can learn how to do it. We just have to teach you how to do it. And you need to absorb and understand and have the body sense to understand what to do on this bike to make it happen. And then the kid is riding the bike, right? And you're happy and you're proud and the kid's happy and the kid's proud. And all of that back and forth that happened helped this child to understand how to ride the bike. The guidance helped the child to understand how to ride the bike. The confidence helped this. You need all of it. It's a back and forth interaction. Okay. Wellness work. Can I point out? We get this guidance regardless. We're either getting this guidance from a good source or we're getting it from a bad source. Who is helping you to manage your thoughts and feelings and actions and what you're doing around keto? Who, right? Luckily for me, it was mom and dad that taught me to ride and not some, maniacal person that would want to laugh at me falling off my bike, right? Who's helping you, right? So what's your story? Are you the only person in your home life doing what you're doing? Right? That's eating a healthy diet? Are you following people who advocate for cheat meals and carb cycling and all kinds of stuff that takes you off the path where they can put keto stuff in front of you after keto fake foods and right and say, oh, I know how to get you back in. Oh, did you fall off? No problem. I know how to get you back in. Are we falling for that? Are you following someone who endorses keto processed foods and maybe they have a recipe book or a snack chart, replacement foods? We need to be careful that we understand that knowing what to eat isn't the thing here. We all know what to eat. And even sometimes I'll say that you might be following doctors that are giving great information because they're doctors and they know what they're talking about, except that perhaps they're presenting information at such a very high level and in such a complicated way that it makes it stressful for you. It makes it hard for you. It makes you think you need to do things that are maybe wider than what you need to do. And so we end up, when we confuse, we lose people, right? You end up doing nothing because it all seems too hard. And so, part of the reason that I do this, I try to make things like very forward and straight and right. Because those doctors' information, don't get me wrong, they're great information unless they're pushing you towards things that you shouldn't be doing, which I've had happen to me. But the information was still like quality. The conclusions, sometimes I disagreed. And not because of the medical, because of what they said about, it's okay to eat X sometimes. That part, I feel, is a doctor not believing that I believe in me. Let me believe in me. Don't tell me it's okay to eat the thing that's causing my health problem. Tell me, really, you should be trying to avoid eating that. If I end up eating it, that's on my shoulders. But you should always tell me the right thing. And that's part of where my frustration comes from, is that doctors are not necessarily realizing that there's a mental component to all of this. There's a mindset component to all of this. A lot of these professionals, especially the ones who were never overweight, do not fully understand what it is to have lived with extra weight on your 70 pounds, man, that you couldn't get off. Like that was not, I mean, yes, did I still allow myself to have fun? Did I still allow myself to live? Of course I did. But 70 pounds of weight that I knew did not need to be there, but was there because I didn't understand. That eating these junk foods was actually causing me to chase, that eating these junk foods was actually making me out of control. I didn't understand, comprehend, get it, whatever, however you want to say that. And so I let myself, did I let myself? I was in the story where I was chasing without knowing. I thought I liked those foods. Can I point out, if I really liked those foods, I'd still be eating them today because I'd still be wanting to eat them today because and I don't. I don't want them. I'm not interested in them. I don't like those foods more than I like me. I don't like those foods more than I like feeling healthy and amazing all the time. So no, that's not why I was eating those foods. I was eating them because I was chasing. And I suspect a lot of you are eating them because you're chasing. And I want you to start to put your mind around what that is. Right? Because it's more complicated than knowing what food to put in your mouth. You know, if you were to leave a kid to their own devices, right? Just give them a bicycle and say, hey, learn to ride this bike. They might learn to ride it. They might, with a lot of difficulty. They might. Maybe they'll figure it out in their teen years when they're a bit more confident and they have like stronger legs and they can, get a bike that they can be bigger than, right? They might figure it out. Maybe with a lot of falls and a lot of difficulty and a lot of, right? Maybe they'll never figure it out. Maybe they just be like, yeah, that's hard. And they just like, oh, I'm not doing that. And they walk away from it and they don't learn to ride a bike ever. That's how I find, we find adults that don't know how to ride a bike. Like just never learned. But with the right guidance, a kid can learn to ride a bike easily. Like my daughter was 4 years old when I taught her to ride a bike. My nieces and nephews, like I taught my niece and nephew, they were both also around 4 years old. Maybe they were 4.5. My daughter, I taught her when she turned 4. And maybe they were going on 5. And it didn't take long. I think my daughter, it took like 2 weeks. My niece and nephew, because there's 2 of them, it took me a little bit longer. But it's not because it's difficult that it can't be done, but you need to have the right support, right? And then we look at something that happened later in my life, actually, when my daughter learned to ski. So I had been skiing for years by that point, maybe like 10-ish years by that point. And I took her to learn to ski. And then, of course, I can ski better than her because she's just learning. Right? So she'd do her lessons. And then afterwards, she and I would go on the hill and we'd practice and we'd laugh and we'd have a good time. And then what happened? Well, eventually, she's doing ski lessons every week from the age of 4 to the age of like 10 or 11, 12, or I can't remember how old, however it was there. And guess what? At one point, she passes me and now she's teaching me, oh, mom, do like this and do like that. And then she started snowboarding, like after I started snowboarding, and she's in classes. So she's taking classes and teaching me how to do what she learned in class. And now we're both great snowboarders too, right? What happened there? She learned how to, on her skis, go through the woods and jump, and she was showing me how to do it. And it's like, oh, if you do this, you do that, right? Now, I don't do it because I'm scared, but that's not the point. The point is that she was trying to teach me, and I did learn a few things. I can go through the woods a teeny bit, so I can do it. Who are you putting yourself around, Wellness Warrior? Who are you putting yourself around? Are you putting yourself around someone who's just as invested in understanding what you're trying to understand so that you can improve? And then when you improve and you learn something, you pull that person forward and they improve, and we're back and forth with each other, and we're learning, and we're happy to be learning. When you're around people who are invested in what you're invested in, you motivate each other. You advance together. You excel together, right? And best of all, you can be committed to the thing that you're doing. It's more than knowing what to do, right? It's more. Your improved health comes out of creating a mindset, right? That's happening in here. And that mindset allows you to engage with food, people, holidays, and life with confidence that my health comes first, no matter what, right? That you're just going to eat the healthy food because this is about achieving a goal that's bigger than, right this minute, is bigger than that. It's about achieving the goal of appropriate weight, healthy body, enjoy my life. That is the ultimate goal. And by the way, just for you to know, those lies that eating junk food is normal, that we need junk food to celebrate, and all the other stupid stuff that companies it's coming from companies, right? That stupid stuff is coming from companies, right? If you stop and think about it, when you were a little kid, or when your parents were little, the cookies only came out once in a blue moon. It was once in a blue moon. It wasn't that every party needed cookies to celebrate. When you did something good at school and your parents were proud of you, or your grandparents were proud of you, it wasn't junk food they gave you. It was a big hug and a kiss, and the words, "I'm proud of you. You're amazing. Look what you did." Right? We need to stop with this foolishness that it's about celebrating with food. Because garbage is making us sick. It's keeping us sick. And it's the same companies that sell us the garbage that spread that lie, right? They spend over $1 billion a year to lobby against the governments, so that the government, rules that they try to put on packaging and all that stuff, they lobby against it. They pay fake for fake science. Apparently, we're figuring out, right? They do all kinds of dumb stuff. Well, it's not dumb. It's not dumb for them because it makes them money, right? So it's not dumb for them. But it's dumb for us if we fall for it and allow those information to change what we're eating and encourage us to eat for fun, right? That we're eating garbage that's ruining our health. And then we end up giving them the money they want so that we get to ruin our health. Yay, I get to ruin my health. Don't. Right? Food companies are not there to take care of our health. That's not why they're there. Right? They're there to make money. If you want good health, you need to focus on your health. So my question, Wellness Warrior, and it's a serious question. This is a very, very serious question. Are you ready to take care of your health, to get healthy? Are you ready to do that? Like right now, immediately. I've told you already, I have the Keto Confidence Challenge is coming up. And if you're ready to take care of your health, it's going to be for you, right? Because this is going to be 20 people, right? Starting in January, 20 people. It's a small group. Get your health under control, because it's not about what to eat. It's how do you have the same mindset, this mindset that says every day, all the time, that's what I'm going to do, right? Mindset is what's important. And if you don't have that mindset, you're not going to be able to do it. So I want you to join the Wellness Squad, because I'm going to be announcing, join the Wellness Squad, I'm going to be announcing when this is starting. It's going to be in January, because if you don't put yourself first, who's going to? Right? Who's going to? Now, until we're waiting for that challenge to start, you can watch the video that I'm going to put on the screen, and it's linked in the bottom, about what we are actually worth to food companies. I made that video a while back, Wellness Warrior. Frustrating as heck to know how little we matter to food companies, what the cost per person is for them and what they're trying to accomplish is frustrating as heck. Because I really want you to think about the fact that we don't even understand how much money they're making. It's crazy. It's crazy. So you need to check that video out. I want to say this. Most people, they don't finish what they start. And you can't achieve your goals if you don't finish what you start, man. So I want to point out that you guys are still here. You're still here I don't know how long I've been live, but you guys are still here. So because you're still here, I want you to do something. I want you to put hashtag prioritize health, not here in the chat. I want you to put it in the comments. And I'm going to pick somebody, or maybe a few somebodies, and put you at the end of the next video. So hashtag prioritize health, because it's amazing that you guys have done this. You stayed true to the end because you want your health to improve. I'm going to highlight a few people in the next video. So thank you for joining me in this conversation / ranty thing that I did today. And I will talk to you all again next week. Watch the next video.